Recording is on.
And we are live. Welcome everybody to another episode of You Know What, Let Me Just Say podcast. I am your host, Ray. With me as always, we have Father.
Peace and blessings.
We have Dion.
Good evening.
We have D Wolf.
Greetings.
We have Shining Wolf.
How to do?
And last but not least, we have Crystal.
Hola.
How's everybody today?
Blah.
All
Doing
right.
good.
Cool.
Even better since I've seen green women twerking.
Oh no.
Yo, how you
I'm
feel
sorry,
about
nigga. What?
It's even better since I saw
I repeat, nigga. What?
It's bad.
green women twerking. Green women twerking. Jolly
the
green
only-
giants twerking.
And the only thing my mind can still say is, nigga. What?
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion was on. I don't
With
know if
Meg,
you watched She-Hulk. Megan Thee Stallion was on this episode of She-Hulk, and She-Hulk was twerking with Megan. In CG.
Okay, I haven't watched it. I gotta see this. I'm watching this before I go to bed tonight. Oh shit.
You might need therapy after you
Welcome,
watch it.
welcome
so
to
I
the
don't know.
mainstream comic book
So,
fans.
so when those cheeks clap, do they cause waves?
The building looked intact to me.
That must mean she ain't got no cheeks then.
I guess.
I mean, them cheeks are
She
just
got
hella
the cheeks.
muscular, but you know.
Right.
Did you watch the episode? The episode in full? Did you?
I haven't started the show. Me
You haven't
personally.
started the show.
No, I'm still on Miss Marvel. I have to finish it.
I just dodged that one. I just dodged that one.
Miss Marvel ain't bad. Miss Marvel ain't bad.
I'm not a big fan of her, so and I'm not saying that because she's a woman. Because I dodged Hawkeye because I'm like, what the fuck is Hawkeye? And so
Hawkeye was actually good. Hawkeye was actually really good.
I was bored as fuck watching.
Yeah, I put it in
the first 2 episodes.
probably third.
To me, the best series so far out of all of those is still Loki.
No,
Yeah.
no, I have to disagree.
DC got the
WandaVision
better shows. They ain't got the best moves, but DC got the better shows.
I have to disagree with Loki.
I would say WandaVision.
I'll give
WandaVision was good,
WandaVision
but
a close second purely because they gave us more episodes.
WandaVision started off good, but it ended kind of wonky.
It got weird at the end. That's the problem.
It was supposed to get weird. The whole series was fucking weird.
No,
Well, Loki?
That's not. No, that's
WandaVision.
Not
Oh.
no, not.
That's one of the things that made WandaVision fun to watch. It was weird as fuck.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Wonder Vision. I'm talking about Loki.
Loki
Yeah,
was
I
a
was
bit
talking
weird
about
too,
Loki.
but it was, to me, it was a good weird.
I feel like, I enjoyed it, but I did notice the ball cutting that they love to do these days. Chopping off men's balls. How many times do you have to be kneed by what's her name from Thor? And he has to be usurped by a female version of himself. But all in all, the show itself, I enjoyed it.
I haven't seen Love and Thunder yet, so I don't even know. I wouldn't consider that a spoiler, but
Taika Waititi,
I like
the guy that made the movie, got fired.
yeah, I heard about that.
Wait,
he
what
got
for what?
fired.
He ain't making another movie with him. He ain't making Thor 5. They want somebody else to make it because people didn't like it.
Yeah, that was the worst. I think they said that was like the worst Thor.
Bro, they
That
are
was my
fucking,
favorite.
They are tripping. Bro, they are tripping.
I ain't like it either. It's too much comedy.
I mean, like, okay, so I can understand like the approach was very different. You know what I'm saying? But I thought for what it was, it could have been a lot worse.
It could have been worse, but it could have been a lot better though.
I mean, yeah, they all could have been a lot better, to be honest. They've been
Yeah, I
after
agree
No
with
Way
that too.
Home, all of them could have been better.
And that was a Fox movie? No, Fox, Sony. That was a Sony movie.
Yeah.
So that's not even Marvel's really.
They ain't beholden to that fuckery. That's what I like about that.
I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give Thor: Love and Thunder a thumbs up. Just one though. I thought it did its job. I liked what it did.
Did y'all like Captain America and Winter Soldier?
I liked it. Well, okay, so I liked Winter Soldier. I liked the message.
You mean Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yeah, Falcon.
I liked it.
I liked the premise. I thought the premise was really good. I just think the storytelling could have been better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
the
premise of it was good. I liked the villain had an actual fucking motive. You know what I'm saying? There was context. Like the show explained itself very well. It just could have told the story better. Not make Sam look like a fucking he was soft shoeing in the end a little bit, just a little bit.
A little soft shoe,
just a little soft shoe.
A
little bit of crumbs, from the butter biscuits, but he ate them. He good. That's Captain America. Good shit.
Them butter biscuits.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotta have them cheddar biscuits. Baby.
He said Captain America sure did give me a lot of them butter biscuits. I do miss them biscuits he used to give me though.
He caught himself though. Sometimes get caught slipping. But all in all, I enjoyed it. Especially the fight between Bucky and the Dora Milaje chick. And the U.S. soldier. Yeah. I mean U.S. agent.
Yeah. I like motherfucking Dora Milaje fighting the U.S. agent. And he tried to white his way through there, and they just looked at him and just whooped his ass.
I think the problem with a lot of these MCU shows now is it doesn't feel connected to the story. You know what I'm saying? Like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like they dealt with the fucking snap, like you know what I'm saying, directly. You know what I'm saying? But like with these other movies and other shows, it's like we're getting away from that, but they're not tying. It's not tying into each other. Like Miss Marvel and She-Hulk, like okay, they're just there. Eternals is just there. They're kind of like isolated.
No, I think what they're doing is trying to get what's that team? They're trying to do the Thunderbolts. I think that was the purpose of that one.
I think they're trying to move to bigger cosmic threats too.
No, in general,
fine.
But there's a side story.
Fine.
There's a side story of the Thunderbolts. So you'll have like the new Black Widow and U.S. agent and all. The government wants their own people, so they don't have another Civil War bullshit anymore. That way, these people signed it and said yes when that lady showed up from Seinfeld. I forgot her name, but her character. You notice she keeps showing up in the end of recruiting.
I just Elaine Bennis.
So that's like the side thing they're trying to do. So you get another team to go against like the Avengers or to be like the rival, stuff like that. That's their purpose. But yeah, the major story is the new Phase 4 and all.
Have y'all been like? How do y'all feel about this Phase 4? Are y'all good with it, or?
Dude, the fact you have to ask that question is a problem.
I feel like it started off good, and then I got bored, and then I was like, I don't like it.
What is the start of it? What was the start? Because I don't remember. WandaVision. Yeah, that was a good start, but it's not living up. It ain't living up to nothing. Not for me, anyway.
Loki helped a lot, though.
I just want to see where it all leads.
Oh, it's leading to Kang. It's leading to Kang.
Right. I mean, yeah, they gave that away on Loki. That Kang the Conqueror is the next big, whatever. But let's just see how it all pans out.
And Young Avengers,
you know
trying to get that into.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna rewatch Loki. I'm a dead ass rewatcher. I'm watching Batman right now. I'm on a DC marathon, but I'm gonna rewatch Loki.
I was like that when I was watching Gotham because it was just like maybe there's something I'm missing in Gotham. I'm glad I rewatched Gotham though. Gotham's really good.
Gotham. That's the show with
I haven't
young
finished
Bruce
it.
Wayne, right?
Yeah.
That's a good show. Jada
Yeah.
did her motherfucking thing. She was the
Right?
I need to watch that one
She was
again.
the
I need to
motherfucking
I
goddamn.
love her as Fish Mooney. I
I
thought
gotta watch that from the
Oh, she
start.
was my fucking favorite character in that entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was the
Love
Riddler.
her.
I'm not even gonna fret. The Riddler was my favorite.
The Riddler, how he turned was masterfully done.
Mm.
Yes.
I loved how it was like
Mhm.
a fucking slow burn. That is,
Yes.
I'm gonna rewatch that too. Fuck that.
Yeah,
I ain't mad at it.
DC definitely make more better shows than Marvel does.
Yeah, because they have depth. Like they do
Yeah.
shit for a fucking reason.
And
Is
they're,
it not?
All of them have depth.
they're
It's
free
not trying
from
to
the
be.
main movie line.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, I'm watching
That's
the
true,
animated
that's true.
Batman series right now, and bro, the one with Cold. What's his fucking name? Is it Dr. Cold? Is that his name?
Freeze?
Yeah, Dr. Freeze. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Freeze. Bro, the story that they wrote for him in the fucking show, I was like, yo, it was deep. Like this man lost his wife in a fucking Cairo lab. Like, damn.
He has to keep her. Yeah, yo.
Bro, like,
And he
to
needs
keep
to
her
worry
alive.
about time too, because he's gonna get old. He has to save her so he can at least live a good long life with her.
Like, this man is first of all, this man is deeply in love with his wife to be doing that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dude just fucking interferes, and then she ends up dying as a result. Like, nigga, I turn cold-hearted too. The fuck? That's the love of my life. So I like shit like that. I like how it's fucking serious. You know what I mean? Like, there's no room for interpretation. Like, it's black and white. It's simple.
Yeah, like Marvel, they trying to make everything into like a little jokey thing. At this point,
Or like what they try to do is they try to make it into something. They try to make it 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. Sometimes
they do that too.
Like, yeah, because Doctor Strange is like that. It's like, bro, okay, you have the multiverse, and they've been through all. Because like when you think of the multiverse, you think like there's a possibly an infinite amount of realities. You know what I'm saying? The possibility of that is there. So to approach that on like a writing, you see it in the writing. To approach that is gonna get like convoluted at some point.
Yeah.
So I feel like
But
that's
DC did that too with the Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I don't know how people perceived it though.
See, Father, what you just said, I want them to add on to the What If series.
Yes, they have a season 2. I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait. That's like my second, actually third or fourth. I don't know. If I had a top 5, I don't know. What If is up there?
Now, What If is definitely up there. That shit with fucking Doctor Strange, that was some nigga. That was the best one.
Yeah,
that was the best one. I
watched it right after watching Doctor Strange too,
bro. Oh, it was so good.
My two favorite ones are the one where T'Challa became Star-Lord and actually teamed up with Thanos, and the one where Ultron took over and pretty much made Thanos his bitch.
I thought the Killmonger one was good too.
I mean, all of them were lit. The whole What If series was lit. The one where you had the evil Doctor Strange was dope.
The one with Thor being a party animal, that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, that one was pretty funny. Him and
that
Captain
one
Marvel.
really had me laughing and shit.
I think that was the purpose, but good shit though.
Because he was yelling "Viva Las Vegas" when he was hitting people with the camera, and then like Miss Captain Marvel came in like a fucking Karen and just ruined his party.
Because Captain Marvel is a Karen. Ever since they rebooted the universe and combined the Ultimate Universe and the original universe, they made her. Their sole mission was to make her an unlikable Karen.
Wait, so let me ask y'all a question. Real quick. So, do you think with the current direction that they're going right now with everything, do you think it's gonna get to a point where at some point we see like Galactus and the X-Men and shit?
Yeah, that's where they're going.
They've teased
By
the
20
X-Men on several occasions already.
by
It depends. Is
2025.
Galactus going to be a big ass fog?
I just saw news on Deadpool. They're gonna try to use him to bring some people in as well.
Yeah,
When
because
he jumps in.
they can't make a X-Men movie without keeping the same cast members until 2025. They have to have the old cast members on contract until then.
So does
I'm
that
with
mean
it.
Halle Berry's still playing Storm?
Holly Berry or the other woman.
Alexandra Shipp?
Yeah.
I don't think nobody wants her back as Storm. So that's
I don't care at this point because they never write her well anyway.
true.
Unless
Yeah.
they're gonna write her well, I don't care who plays her. If she's
She
just
gonna
gonna
get
be
her
there just to say, if she's gonna be there just to say, "Oh, we have Storm," then I don't really care who plays her at that point.
Oh, you know what's gonna happen. She's gonna get her ass
Like-
with like 3/4 of the battle. Then she's gonna
Right.
do like one move and it kills.
Like
Yeah,
Storm
that's
is
really
here.
annoying.
Like Storm is here. Hi. That's pretty much Storm in most movies. Or she says some stupid one-liner to get her ass beat.
I feel like
You know what
Ant-Man's gonna
happens to a toad when
jumpstart
it's
this
struck
shit,
by
man.
lightning?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. The same thing happens to everything else.
And plus, then when she lost her accent, I was like, "What happened?"
Right, yeah, that was me. I was like, what happened to the accent? Now she
Oh,
just
I
sounds
knew
like
that
an
was gonna
American.
I knew that was gonna happen. That's
Because in the cartoon, that was appealing. That was what I love that about her.
They don't care what you love about her.
Nope.
They said you just like Wolverine and you like Charles and Magneto, and that's all people we want you to focus on. Everybody else is just here just to be here.
I came to cock block you, Charles. Shout out to the judgment people.
Man, if they don't actually do something with Cyclops, they just be putting them in there just to have them in there. But he has no role. Like he has a role in the cartoons and stuff,
Yeah, he was
and in the
underused.
and in the comic books, he like a badass in the He's a badass asshole in the comic books, and it makes for good story. Like he becomes like almost kind of like he becomes like a borderline terrorist at some point.
Which, because with this several different X-Men stories, you got to be specific when you say
Astonishing X-Men. When he had the X thing on his face.
Okay.
Yeah, he was an asshole. He was he usually is kind of an
He's
asshole.
always been, yeah.
Yeah, he usually kind of an asshole, but he was extra on that one.
Shoot, I have to say out of all the characters in the first X-Men movie, I think Cyclops was the best written. Just the way he acted towards Wolverine and everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of Galactus, he is a Celestial, so they have to bring him in.
Yeah, they gotta start putting him in there at some point. And I think I saw a billboard for a Celestials movie, but I don't know how true that is. If that's just something that somebody just dreamed up on Photoshop or something.
it could happen.
But I mean, yeah, it probably is gonna happen because if they gonna go cosmic and start adding Fantastic Four and all those other characters like Captain Marvel and stuff, then they're gonna have to start adding more spacey, like godlike entities in there, other than Thor and shit. Because Thor is more of like an earthly god, but there's like cosmic gods.
This means we'll probably start seeing characters like you said, Galactus, Silver Surfer, maybe Sentry.
hmm Maybe the Nova Corps.
Oh, they working
We got a glimpse of Nova Corps with the first Guardians of the Galaxy, so we should see more of them.
Yeah.
Although I don't remember them piloting fucking fighter jets and shit.
Yo, you know what they gotta do? They gotta show us the fucking scene when Thanos got the Power Stone. They gotta make that. Like maybe in Guardians 3, just do a little flashback or something when they were devastated. Because we never seen that. We just know he got it from them. We never seen how he got the Power Stone.
They might. Maybe.
They left it. They left it with the one dude. No, they gave it. Yeah, they left it with the one guy.
No, that was a reality one with the Collector, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a reality stone, but the Power Stone was locked up with the Nova Corps, and like we only heard he just decimated them. We never seen the whole fight with his crew and shit. Like we never seen how he did it, and that's a big, that's like a big ass army, and he took them out. I wanted to see how that happened, but they never showed it. They just said it happened.
Sure. Thanos got whole civilizations under his control. He can build an army to take out the Nova Corps. He's basically Marvel's version of DC's Darkseid, the way he operates.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's try to get to the podcast. As much as I like having conversations about this, let's get to the podcast. I want to start with some do y'all cares as usual. Do y'all care that Andrew Tate got his Instagram and Facebook revoked? And I think
I don't even know who he is. Let's.
I get it, but nope.
I do only because. But I actually, yeah and no, because like I kind of care, kind of don't, because my main concern would be like them kicking you off their social media in general because they don't like the opinions that you talk about, and that could easily be this podcast or hello.
Hey,
You good?
Yeah, that could easily be like this podcast or any other podcast where they don't like what you're saying. So they go and ban you from the social media site. I don't like the idea of that.
okay. Do y'all care that Ari Spears was making fat jokes about Lizzo?
That shit was funny.
Oh, that shit was funny. It was funny both ways. Because what he was saying, he's right, but at the same time, it's like the pot calling the kettle black or whatever, however that saying goes.
Yeah, the pot calling the kettle black.
Because he looks sickly.
Yeah, he did not have to do that though. Like now, cause bro, it's like the Beehive kind of. You come for Lizzo, she got a whole group that'll defend her to death. So,
Right.
bro, you basically created trouble for yourself. All you had to do was just not say anything.
And the guy didn't ask him that either.
Like
He addressed it too afterwards.
Yeah, he did, and then like
He still made it funny.
Yeah, he doubled down.
He doubled down, but
down.
like he could do that because he's not part of no big branch or anything like that.
I will say this. I do agree with Father. Like he didn't even ask him that, so there's no reason to bring it. And like, I try not to talk about Lizzo a lot because if he's in the news, it's not about her music. It's about her
something
weight
stupid
or some stupid shit. And usually I say if people are not talking about your music, you're not talented. But I know Lizzo is super talented. And it's just like, so I think for her occasion, it's just people just beating up on her because of her weight. So other than that,
that's what it is.
Yeah, so it's just like anything with Lizzo to me is low hanging fruit. So that's why I don't talk about it that much. Or it comes to this topic of do you care?
You got that fruit.
I'm to the point now that we just need to accept that we do live in a society that will always push the agenda that it's better to be in a weight that can cause diabetes, and they will they're always going to defend people that are close to the grave. That's just what it is. So anybody making fun or comments about a big boned woman is not okay. It's not okay, even though we portray it in society like it's a good thing. It really isn't. But anyone to speak on that, especially when it comes to Lizzo, is wrong for that. I was just looking at Chadwick, and I remember someone posted that everybody was going ham when he was skinny and making fun of him and talking shit about him. And he's a really talented guy. And no one really came to his defense the way that
Nope,
people
because
come
he's a
for
man.
Lizzo. And that's where the hypocrisy is where I can't fuck with it. That's the part that I hate. Lizzo's not a bad person. She really didn't do anything to anyone. It was the fact that
Mm-mm.
she always displays her fatness like it's something healthy. That's where I have a problem with.
Something like it's something great.
Right. And
Hmm.
it's not just her, it's a lot of people. Now, if you put a skinny woman who kind of looks anorexic by society standards, they will put her down. I remember when Monique made all those fucking jokes about skinny women, and
You
she's skinny
skinny bitch.
now. She's skinny now. But it it wasn't a bad thing when people were making fun of skinny women, and people make fun of fat women all the time. It's really not a big deal, but because whatever his name is, last name is Spears, Aries Spears, because he brought attention to it and he did not hold back his words, even though they were fucking harsh. Because I think referring someone to a shit emoji, I think it's
They
just,
got me.
it's a lot. I think you're doing too much at that point. But at the same time, he did bring up the fact that we all know they are portraying um, unhealthy eating and stuff as if it's good, but yet we're putting down a black man, Chadwick Baldwin, may he rest in peace, in regards to being skinny. He didn't say a word about having cancer, but guess what can bring cancer faster? Being overweight.
Mm.
And I'm overweight too. And to be on such a platform where you are going to be poked fun at, you are going to be talked about. It is what it is. If you're good with what the weight you're at, fuck it. You know what I mean? But portraying it as if it's a good thing, like you're rooting for people to go to the grave. Don't let
Hmm.
somebody be healthy because they'll talk all the shit. uh it can't, people, we live in a society that someone could do better but don't do better than them. So I feel like in a way it's an underhanded congratulations, Lizzo, for you know being almost to the grave and teaching other people to be almost to the grave. But if it's a fit woman, she's a hoe, she's a this, she's a that, it's not right the way that we lift up people who can basically die based off of just what they eat, and they're portraying it as if something good. It's not good. It's actually scary. As black women, we do need to uplift each other. Like, I have a friend, I display her on Facebook. She has a Zumba class. You know how much time she came to me and said, Crystal, what's going on? I have the little fatty stomach and stuff like that, and I'm eating out of whatever situation I'm going through because it feels good at the time. And never once did I think this woman was fat shaming me. You know what she said to me when I did say, I don't like when you say such and such. She's like, I want you to live just as long as me. You think I want to have my best friend not here when I'm celebrating my best life too? And I really had to look at that comment. I could have gotten offended. I could have been in my ego, but I wasn't. Now, again, Lizzo is a celebrity that everyone looks up to. Um, I think that, yeah, Aries Spears was just doing a little too much, but at the same time, he did mention some facts here. We're quick to lift up each other when we're overweight, doing bad, have five baby daddies, but we're quick to put someone down when we're doing the right thing. And I think that's where society has me fucked up on a mental level. I'm not going to jump on this bandwagon of not saying at least Aries Spears did out how to put it. He did spark conversation for that, that we're uplifting the wrong fucking things. How he delivered the message really fucked up. It's
Yeah,
no, it's no
yeah,
way
yeah.
around it. It's no way.
Yeah, but a lot of people have said this before though, and it just goes right over their head. So
And the thing is, people are forgetting, and sometimes you got to realize who it's coming from. Because Ari Spears, he's known for this shit. Like since like when it came to Mad TV, those skits, I'm sure he like only he could pull it off because he's willing to do certain things that others, because that's how he is. He'll go dark comedy, right? Like even though he's big, right? You remember when he was doing the Michael Jackson thing? He still pulled it off because he had nothing was holding him back. Nothing holds him back. And that's what I respect about him, because he's gonna be blunt about it, he's gonna be funny about it and shit like that. And I think the thing is, the reason it's a problem is because women they're the ones that tend to push the unhealthy shit, especially when it comes to obesity and being comfortable in this, that, and the other. I'm like, you need a little bit of shame, especially for our women, because and I'm speaking about women in general, not just black women, but when it comes to this shit, we have this thing. It might be subconscious or it could be conscious, but we have this thing where we want our women to at least be healthy, right? And they're pushing this shit. And when we think of like little girls, especially if a father's watching it, they know that their little girl's watching this lady up there, and they're putting the message, not just what she's doing on stage and stuff, but sometimes when they get to on social media and start talking about it, they're glorifying being big. They're glorifying this stuff, and we want our women to be able to carry a child and be around to nurture the child, where we're out doing the hard shit. How are they gonna do that if they're big and shit like that? So I think it's like a subconscious thing that we have, because we want to make sure that's the case. Because it was always my case for me. If any of my past relationships, when they're a certain size, I'm like, are they healthy? Yeah. So I never said, oh, you need to lose weight or things like that. I'm like, are you eating well? Are you sleeping well? Are you doing this properly? Then fine. Because really and truly, I love you the way you look. You still get me hard, I'll still do it. Right? My problem is my problem with that was
Stop
whenever
it.
they yo
Stop it.
who you think did that?
Oh yeah, I forgot we're on.
Yeah, he's giving you a run for the money, yo. You better get back on it, Chris.
That was the thing. That's the first thing I said. I said, "Yep, that's the one I put." Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I think it's just I think it's that, because I was always like that. I'm like, if you want to lose, I will help you lose weight. You know, I don't want you. Like me personally, I'm
Y'all
winning
need to
either
quit.
way.
How y'all pull up the same
Yo.
word? Stop.
We here. My bad, D-Will. Go ahead.
Stop it.
Yeah, I was always what was it saying? Yeah, I didn't care the weight or anything like that. If they asked me to help them like lose weight, I'd be down for it, because you get the best of both worlds. You get them as you met them, or you get them more fit. And depending on how hard they want to go, they get that, that fit, proportions in the right place, muscles in the right place. You get that, or you just get the healthy, beautiful, voluptuous, whatever. Me personally, I don't care. As long as you're not obese, as long as you're not too skinny, if you're right and you're healthy, you're good. And I feel like that's how men are. So when we see this shit being glorified, and especially when it's one gender doing it, and it's that gender, the gender we proclaim to protect and want to have a family with, things like that, that's going to be compelled to look down upon or talk shit about, or throw a little shame there, so maybe they'll get it someday.
I like that word you said. You said protect. Protection also includes protection from yourself as well. When I say yourself, I mean like protect me from myself, from things that I might do that might be like, a detriment towards myself, like bad habits that people have and stuff like that. That's also a part of protection, not just protecting them from outside threats. Like you protect your kids from doing stupid shit that your kids might do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and eating whatever the hell you want to eat, it does affect you mentally and hormonal. So it's scary. It's scary, and I'm genuinely concerned when people think that being a certain weight is confidence. There is a difference between self-love and being confident where you are while portraying self-love. I'm not sitting here and saying, "Oh, if you 200 and up, that means you don't love yourself." No. It's just acknowledging your weight, knowing that hey, it's unhealthy. I'm not going to really display it as if I'm wearing my confidence because it's not displaying true self-love. True self-love is me saying, "Okay, I know I'm big and I'm doing this and this and this to get at a better weight so I could see my children grow up." That's self-love. But staying there and be like, "I know I'm overweight, it is what it is," and telling a skinny girl, because I was told all my life, "You need to gain more weight.
Yeah, but I was
Are
told
you
that too.
okay? Do you have AIDS?"
Oh,
Shit like
damn.
Damn.
that.
What?
Damn.
It's Brooklyn. They're really hardcore. I was
Oh
always
yeah.
being
Nah,
told,
but someone
"I got
really
a
asked
friend
you
for
that?
you."
And
Huh?
isn't Aries from here? From New York? Isn't Aries a New Yorker
Yeah, he's
originally?
from New York.
Yeah, so of course that's why I'm so used to it. That's why it didn't bother me because I'm like, okay,
Right, but I was always being asked if I'm okay,
yeah.
especially when I weighed 102. I'll never forget. I was wearing a size one. Okay, and no, everybody used to ask me, "Am I okay?" If they wanted to hook me up with one of their guy friends, "Oh, he might break you," shit like that. You know what I mean? But when I got big and I got hips and stuff, ask me if anybody's asking me if I'm okay now. Not one person except the people that I exercise with is asking me, "Hey, you drank your water today? Have you taken your B12s and stuff like that? Have you been keeping up with what you need to make sure you stay here for a long time?" I've noticed nobody really asks me um, the questions I used to get asked when I was skinny. And I want to say slim because I wasn't skinny. I had shape, right? But it was still funny how society looked at me as a sickly person. But when I weighed a certain size where I felt like I was slowing down, feeling more tired and stuff, nobody's asking me these questions.
What were you
So
like
if
one? What was you like 120, 130, something like that?
no, I wish I weighed literally 102.
Jeez. How tall are you?
5'5".
Mm, maybe
Yeah, yeah. So
5'5". I don't know. Like the weight.
5'5" with brown eyes, smile like the sunrise.
of
Oh, sorry.
No.
It was
course
there.
you would come with the
It was
lyrics.
there. It was there.
But I was healthy. I was healthy back then. I was healthy. The only thing that fucked with me was iron. I was anemic. But that was about
Oh,
it. That was about it. But mm-mm.
a lot of girls
So
I know are anemic too.
yeah, it's fucked up.
Okay. All right. Last one, and I know I probably care about this because it seems like it makes us look hypocritical. But how do y'all feel about these black women dancing to R. Kelly in the leg shaking trend?
Uh,
Man,
don't
the
care
Boondocks is
that
the greatest show
much.
ever. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
The Boondocks is ahead of its
The
motherfucking
boon,
time.
the boon. Whoever wrote the Boondocks, that motherfucker is
Good,
El Negro Damas.
good
Oh, that's Aaron
lord.
Magruder. Aaron Magruder.
Yeah, well, he's Negro Damas.
And what's the name of the trend?
The leg shaking trend. It's just oh, the dance is dumb because everybody looks so stone faced, but the fact that the reason why I give a fuck is because it makes a lot of people look hypocritical because like the whole time when the whole since like surviving R. Kelly to now, he was looked at as a piece of shit and this manipulator and someone that done all this stuff to especially to black women, and all of y'all did as much as y'all can try to get him in jail and lose his master so where he can't make money and yet still owe people, and now he's in jail and shit. Now I'm looking at black women dancing into his fucking songs on TikTok, and I'm like, this is the most hypocritical shit I've ever seen, and I felt. I'm not gonna lie. I felt the type of way about that, but I was wondering if anybody else like kind of like felt that way.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, really.
Not
It's okay if
surprised.
you
If
don't.
they're the same ones, definitely.
It's okay if y'all didn't. I know a couple of people. They had the same sentiments as me. It's like not y'all dancing to fucking R. Kelly after y'all done called them a pedophile.
But you know what? You
I'm
know
not
what, Ray?
surprised.
You know what, Ray? I've noticed a pattern, and I might get flack for saying this, but I don't give a fuck because y'all already know how I roll. Um, I find it interesting that when a woman, not I can't even say woman, when little girls are dating grown ass men, they don't talk about how manipulated this man is until they reach 25 and older. Now, when y'all look at
Mm-hmm.
your own daughters, y'all want to come after the nigga because y'all getting old. All right, so you didn't know what the fuck you was doing before, okay? So now I find it like in the 90s, you don't see anybody really coming back, okay? In the new age, the minute they hit 25, 30, 35, oh, he manipulated me. I didn't know what I was fucking doing and stuff like that. But here we are with some, I'm sure some of these women have been introduced to older men or went after older men to make the young guy that didn't want them jealous or whatever the case is, right? Y'all sitting here dancing to a man that manipulated and fucked over a little girl. So the reason why a lot of people have an issue, especially with our culture, because our culture is the main ones to push that shit under the fucking rug. Okay? Um, we don't want to hear people on fucking TV when you had a TikTok video talking about, oh, it's on, I like this song, I need to do this trend. And you're dancing to a man that molested how many fucking little age girls? I. And then you're turning around and saying, oh, it's not a big deal. It's
Do
just
they
a
have kids in
song,
there?
right? Huh?
Do they have kids in these TikToks with them?
So
Look,
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. You know
That's
how it
look.
even
is.
fucking worse. Then.
I'm
All I
pretty sure. I'm
know,
not assuming, but some are older, some are young. They get their best little belly shirts, show off
Mm.
their stomach, and start doing these damn dances and shit. But go
all
ahead.
I know is for the black woman to be the first one on the bandwagon to this song and dancing and then saying it's just a song, we got to be careful what we represent. So I don't want to hear none of those chicks that decided to go on TikTok, okay, be on the same other stereotypical shit and not address the fact that they were just dancing to a pedophilia or a guy that likes little girls, so to speak. Because
Pederast.
I'm just saying whatever words come to mind, and it don't sound right. But I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. In the black community, we're the first ones to push molestation and stuff under the fucking rug. But here you are dancing to R. Kelly. Okay.
And keep in mind, a lot of these guys that you mentioned who wants to, you know, hold back their daughters and shit and talk about the guys they're with, and they're doing it themselves. Sometimes that's what it takes for them to fucking get it, is because they never see it until they have a child, and they're like, "Oh shit, I did." So, because a lot of the times those dads are like, "Oh, I know what I used to do, so I know what he's thinking. So I want you to, That came to
Uh,
mind when you brought up that fact.
the only thing I'm going to say, because I don't care about the situation that much, and this is why. We're the same generation that was still bumping on Kelly when he was fucking around with Aaliyah. We're the same generation that was still bumping his music when he had that sex tape back in like 2000, 2001. So I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Like I done said, he has been woven into fucking R&B so much that it's kind of hard to like listen to songs and not know that R. Kelly has at least had a hand in it and some shit, especially when it comes to either songwriting, producer songs, or even him being on remixes and choruses. It's like R. Kelly been on a lot of hits, so 30 years of fucking
And he has a
yeah.
particular, he's always had a particular style. So even if Even if he's not singing on the song, oh, R. Kelly wrote this, R. Kelly produced this.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't know he wrote "You and I Alone" by Michael Jackson, and it was just
That
like,
was
oh,
fucking crazy.
that's what I said. That is fucking crazy, and yet there you go. So
It's just hard to. I look. Okay, so just hear me out, y'all.
I'm listening.
It's hard to want to protect the black woman when the same kind of black woman that's the first one to preach about protecting the black woman is dancing to a black man that done touched on little girls, and that's something that more than likely they can fucking relate to. So I don't fucking understand why you want to call it just a song when you quick to call out in these streets that you're not fucking protected and that the black man is attacking you, but you're dancing to. Okay, I'm out. I can't do it.
Double standards.
It's okay. It's okay, Chris. It's okay.
No, she has every right to be upset. I understand everything she was
That's what
saying.
I said. I feel it. She has every right to be upset.
Like,
I think me and Shiny Wolf, we had this talk about women want black women want a man to take the lead, but doesn't know how to give up the wheel, as I would like to say. It's just like you want them to, it's like you want them to drive the boat, and this is my analogy. You want them to drive the boat, but you won't give them the steering wheel to drive the boat. It's like, how are you supposed to lead without, driving the boat? Okay. All right. Before we lose Crystal over here, let's get on to some of let's get on some of the topics. The first one I'm talking about is Mississippi not having fucking drinkable water or water to shower. So
it's Flint, Michigan all over again.
Bruh, it's fucking stupid. According to this is from CNN, as Mississippi Capitol enters fourth day Thursday. This was written September 1st. Oh, this was written today. Fourth day. With little to no water flowing from faucets, authorities were scrambling to get failing water treatment, plant plague, decades of deferred maintenance to back online. To cut it short, there's no water to flush, drink, or take a shower with. So, and I guess
ew.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh no. That's it. And after days of work on the plant, including Wednesday's installation of a rental pump, water pressures returned to some areas plant. They are experiencing almost normal pressure. So how do y'all feel that this is like the second state or city that you're knowing that has damn near no fucking flushable water or drinkable water? How y'all feel about that?
How could they? Oh, how you live like that? Damn.
And this, wow.
Whole city just stinking. That's all I'm thinking right now. Whole city just stank.
They've been giving people and I think they're giving it for free, which they should be doing it. Like they've been giving people bottled waters and some shit like that, just so they can at least shower. So I'm pretty sure they're not all stinking. I'm pretty sure they just they getting water or some shit like that. But it's the fact that
that's one thing, but you talk about not being able to flush the toilets and some more shit. Come on now.
I'm wondering they still got to pay a water bill.
This is the result of America as a country not really doing the adequate shit to bolster their infrastructure in the first place. Because the fact that an entire city like Jackson, Mississippi, which is 80% black, mind you, doesn't have water, and this is bruh, it's a trend that's following. Like there was even saying California was in danger of they're using way too much water and they're about to really mess up their supply. So, bro, and as we know, California is a very high populated state.
Yeah.
So Like, yeah, this shit is scary. Like, bro, all that shit happening in Sri Lanka and Lebanon, I knew was gonna creep up our motherfucking door. It's slowly happening, bro. And we're the first ones that is gonna get impacted. Just simply because we're not the dominant color. We're not the preferred color, I should say.
You're wrong, Crystal. Yo, you just reminded me of something because I lived in Cali, and this is how bad it is. Well, they are about because you are 100% correct. Because listen to this. So they're always in a drought, right? So they have like laws and like mandates to make sure like you don't use your water. So like at a certain time, make sure your sprinklers are off, or don't use the hose, or this and the other, right? Don't They have all these harsh restrictions, especially when that time comes. Yet these dumbasses on a rainy day, because on the when you're on when you're on the highway, they have little gardens and stuff going along at the bush that's growing over, and they have sprinklers that water them on the hot days. Those things will be on while it's raining. And there are times when it's like when the rare times it does rain out there, it will just rain for like a month on end, right? Those things will still be on the timer. So so if I forget to turn mine off, I'm getting a ticket, but you guys can forget to check the fucking weather and use gallons upon gallons upon gallons of water on these plants while the rain's hitting it. This is how retarded they are. But so if they can't think of that and all they are about money and getting their money from people, they ain't think about the people, what their people are drinking and how to maintain it and shit like that. These people don't care because I'm already a skeptic of water. I don't drink no tap water. After I found out what's in it, and I mean what's in it that you don't see, all you see is those flakes of white chlorine that's left behind that will build up under your faucet or will be in the bottom of your cup or something. Where you get that white dust. That's like that's everything, but it's just bleached out and dissolved as much as it could, but it can't cut it. It stops at that level of that white dust. You're still getting that, and I didn't know that till recently. That it was that it's bad what's in the water. I'm like, what you flush, what they filter out, you think they filter? Things you drop in the sewers, in the toilet, like forget that stuff. That's getting cleaned up. Yeah, that's getting cleaned up, the bacteria and stuff like that. But the chemicals and shit, you're getting all of that. That shit can't get to that level. So what these women take, like when women are on like certain like pills and shit like that, and a man's drinking the tap, that's why you're getting a dose of that shit. So I bought a distiller and we hooked up like a water filtration system. We have a tester to make sure, so we'll know when to change out the filter because that shit's supposed to say 0 or should have there's a threshold. So the highest I take now is probably like 0.4 parts per million, right? Total dissolvable liquids, I think it's called, or solid. Sorry, TDS. So I get like 4 from 0 to 4. If you turn on the tap water and put the tester in there, you getting up to 500, 600. So I'm like, nope. So it's already bad. You think these people don't know that? So they ain't paying attention to shit. So when shit gets bad in a certain city and shit like that, and especially in a black neighborhood, why would they care? Yeah. Just too much. I don't drink. I don't even buy drinks from outside anymore. I don't, because I know the ice is from that same fucking water. I don't do it anymore.
I can't understand. Like, I looked into what was going on with Mississippi. And if you know that out of all the water on Earth, only 1.2% is available for us to drink, and this has been an ongoing problem for 30 fucking years with the mayor, I guess his name is Mayor Antar. It's a first name. I can't pronounce it. We're not doing that. But Mayor Antar, when the person interviewing him was asking how come he was not invited to the press conference to discuss the water shortage by the governor, you know, he was said he wasn't invited. When the governor was asked that, he was telling the reporters that he didn't invite the mayor, right? So we can conclude that the communication is not there. And I've noticed that the mayor there kept saying, well, this has been an ongoing problem. We've been trying to get it fixed for the last 2 years. And I'm just glad it's getting fixed. Even though he was pushed to ask, okay, well, what's going on? If y'all are not communicating, how are you guys going to find a solution? And that's a legit fucking question. What is really going on that it got so fucking bad that a whole state does not have water and everybody has to come to their aid? Like, it's a serious issue because the infrastructure is not strong enough or organized enough to deal with whatever climate change is coming. Another thing that had interest me with this whole situation is that it reminded me of New York City. Now, with New York City, their pipes have been there forever, forever. And it took um, an accident happening for people to say, okay, well, the pipes need to be changed out. There was leakage from these old buildings going into the water and
Mm.
other shit. So I feel like this is not just a Mississippi issue. This is a whole country issue that people are not replacing. They're just letting it go as it goes. And when something really bad happens, like poison accidentally being seeped into the drinking water, then they want to talk about what's going on. 30 years they've been having this issue. You're only telling me that they know about this shit now?
I wish I
Right.
could say accident. I wish I could agree with you when you say accidentally.
It's not an accident. This is a setup. I don't care.
And you reminded me of something. What's our mayor, Crystal, back in New York?
Oh
What's our
God. We're not
mayor
talking about him.
telling us to
We're
do?
not
Drink. He's pushing people. I've never seen nobody fucking advertise tap in my life.
Mm.
He's telling people, please, yo, drink the water. Drink New York
Yeah,
tap
but the
water. I'm like, what the fuck
buildings
you
are
doing? But first of all, you're
okay.
right in one
Fuck,
sense,
no.
because New York tap water, I ain't gonna lie, I have never gone to any other state and had straight water that felt like I was drinking out of a bottle. That part is true. That doesn't take away the fact that shit is in our water. Presumably the shit that's even causing certain things to happen to us, or the fallout from that, from the people who were sick and this that, and the other, and we're drinking. That's probably how it's spreading as well. Let's think about that. You're telling people to drink. Who advertises that shit? And now another thing it reminded me of is when Obama went to Flint and he was telling people it was clean, right? And he pretended to he
And he
didn't
took a
pretend to
sip.
drink.
He took
He
the
pretended to
lightest
sip
sip
the
of
shit.
water.
And I'm like, nah, if I'm gonna prove to these people this water's safe, I'm chugging that water, yo. What you mean? I'm gonna make sure my people know I'm dead ass serious. He didn't do that. He pretended to sip. Oh my
Look.
God.
Hashtag
None of
thirst
these
trap.
motherfuckers care, yo. I'm like, that's why I'm saying don't believe nothing these fuckers say.
Well,
Hashtag thirst trap.
me. And right now in Nevada, I lived there for about 10 years, Vegas. And they're only recently discovering, right, that the water supply that we would take is sometimes from Lake Mead. There's dead bodies that they're discovering now in barrels from years ago. We're talking about a decade ago. So people
That's
have
not
been
creepy at
drinking
all.
that water, including me. And I feel
Maybe
like I
just a
need
little
to
bit.
sue people. That's
That's probably why
nasty.
it's Sin City.
That's nasty. You know what I mean? But who am I going to go to when I've been drinking poison for the last decade? Because I didn't do my fucking research. I didn't install like a distilled water thing that can filter everything like D-Wolf over here. But I'm just saying, like, as this is a wake-up call. I don't know if this is just a Mississippi problem. You and I know it ain't, but let's pretend that this is just a a new problem. But if a state cannot take care of a basic necessity, and it's only 1.2% available in the fucking world to drink, that's drinkable water. What do you think of their organization skills with other things that we put in their hands? You can't even fucking give clean water. What else can you say is an emergency when shit hits the fan? I'm not taking a chance. I'm going to buy a distilled water thing. I'm gonna hook it up to my system, replace it, and then get that water. Y'all ain't gonna be killing me. You got water boiling advisory every now and again. People need to look into that shit. Just the other day, I think about 3 weeks ago here in Florida, some guy got angry and said, okay, I'm going to put what is it called, fluoride in. I'm going to turn up the amount that is the normal drinking, able to drink the fluoride or whatever. I'm like, okay. And then they had to do a boiling water advisory and told everybody not to drink it because they could die. Come on now. Seriously?
For your health. I wish they had that. Yo, they need that clock shot energy for this water. But y'all care. They didn't jump on this at all, did they?
Oh, it's true.
It is. You're not wrong.
Any last words to say before we move on to our next topic?
Watch the water. Watch that water.
All I'm gonna say is that like something like water being denied to people in a community, that's a human rights violation in itself. So they really need to fucking fix that problem because these are human beings. You need water to live. This is not something that's like trivial. This is some serious shit. And I really do hope the folks of Jackson, Mississippi get what they need in order to secure water for everybody in that community. It's fucking embarrassing as a country.
Start with Nestle.
How long do y'all think before America just fucks itself over and then we just like
I already did.
No, honestly, it's been fucked since 1774. If we really want to be honest.
1774.
July 4th, 1770. That's it. GG. Welcome to the world.
All right. In other news, yeah, did y'all know there's going to be there's a shortage of teachers? It's going to be some teachers. The teacher shortage.
Yep. They was not playing. They warned them.
Okay, so I was asking. This was something I saw today. I know PG County is really having a shortage in some teachers. There is some schools there they might have to go to 4 days because teachers are just overwhelmed, underpaid. And some people just not coming back after the pandemic because they all want to deal with, the shit after the pandemic. And so, and this comes from New York Times. A public school that serves more than 3,000 students in a desert city east of Phoenix, Westwood, still has 3 unfilled positions in that subject. The principal, Christopher Gilmore, has never stated that the year with many math positions open. It's a little now. I think what they're missing mostly is math and science teachers and some shit like that. And I think it's the same thing in PG County because I think we're going to have a shortage too. So, how do y'all feel about this shortage that's been happening?
Which teachers aren't returning?
Math, for what I've seen, math and science.
I mean, the ones that said because of So it's the ones that. Because you said it's because of the pandemic, right? So are the ones that refuse to get a certain procedure, or are the ones that just got used to, doing it from home or something? Who are the ones that are?
I think it's
not
a little
returning?
bit of both. I think it's a little bit of both. I think I want to say most of it's probably the people that haven't taken the vaccine,
and I'll say this, okay. So if your issue is the vaccine and you're worried about your health and shit like that, right? You don't want that. Go to fucking work. Okay, you don't know what these kids are bringing to you to school. You're not checking on these kids every day. You already take that risk. So you know, and you're already saying that you're good with COVID, right? Like, okay, we don't want to take the vaccine. So you know you're healthy. You know what to do if you get sick, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do, and you know how to follow the regular procedures in the school, right? So fucking go back to work. Don't use not taking the vaccine as a reason, or you're contradicting yourself. You love these kids so much, and it applies to the ones that oh man, these people. I'm telling you,
Okay.
you care about your job, you care about these kids, yo. Go to work. Fuck. Oh my
Bro,
god.
I don't think it's that simple. It's what because they don't get paid a lot. Like for one, they don't get paid a lot. So it's one thing
I
to
would
say that.
not, you know, at the same,
Look, I understand. Like you want
I
it
hope
because
that they got a better gig then, or something else at least. If that's the case, then fine. But if they're just sitting home and they can at least be doing something and something good, I'll decide. Okay, you're not getting paid enough, this and the other, but you're contributing to the kids you pledge to teach. You know, you get something out of it. This is especially when it's if I'm talking about the ones who claim it's their dream job. They always wanted to come get to you know, take care of kids and teach kids and all this stuff. Get to work, yo. Help these people. Not only them, the other teachers who are overexhausting themselves, going crazy. Then you know, get to work. I don't know.
Okay.
Kristen, leave that
It's
damn gift button alone.
No, keep going. The highlight of
that brought
my
back memories, huh?
podcast, yo.
okay. Before you
Um,
start, Chris, I do want to say this. According to I think this is Vox.com, in Texas, teachers are deserting the classroom in high rates. With Houston alone, there are nearly 1,000 vacancies in early August. In Maryland, there are more than 5,500 teachers reporting left the profession in 2022, leaving Baltimore with the estimated 600 to 700 vacancies going in the fall. And Kansas is facing what's been called the most severe teacher shortage it has ever had. 1,500 teaching jobs are unfilled. In Florida, there are about 8,000 teacher vacancies, up to 5,000 at the start of school last year. The shortage is reported also dire in states including Nevada, California, Illinois, Arizona, and Missouri. Go ahead, Crystal.
okay. So it's funny that this is brought up because, okay, so I was in class and the class I'm taking is Practicum 2. I'm almost finished. So with Practicum 2, you have to get field experience. You have to go out in the field and either volunteer to deal with children that's 8 and younger or work at a child care center. So with that said, while my professor was talking to us, she was like, okay, don't worry, guys. If you don't have a job to get your 250 hours, you could always work at an elementary school. And by the way, they're hiring. Now, usually when they say that they're hiring for teachers, that's it. You have to have either your associates or bachelor's, right? Then she went on to say, oh, by the way, guys, they've increased the pay in the last 20 years or 30 years. It's been a long time since they increased pay for teachers. They increased it in nearly 40 something dollars than what the teachers was getting paid. And she's like, and guys, y'all could apply. That more than likely they'll accept you without a bachelor's degree. So I'm like, wait a minute. This don't even sound right. So the more that she kept talking, she's like, yeah, you guys are going to be hired on the spot. Don't worry. If you need me to put in a good word, I will. You know, there's a shortage in such and such. And I'm just like, this is not the conversation that typically happens in any college setting. Usually they say, you need to get your bachelor's or you need to get all these different things. Now, this was weird for me. So I started doing my own research and I saw that not only is it a shortage in just one county, it's a shortage everywhere. And then I realized, yo, like they went from paying teachers 20 grand a year or 30 grand a year to 40 to 50 grand a year. And I'm not shocked. I think that teachers were underpaid from even when I was in school. But at the same time, it's serious. And I think that a lot of parents is going to have to soon go back to homeschooling if this continues. And with all the mass shootings going on, and then the COVID put a damper big in things. I don't see recovery happening anytime soon until 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Because we're also dealing with a generation that did not get face-to-face interaction in the first years of schooling due to COVID. So we're dealing with that as well. So it's just going to be hell.
Is
I'm not
somebody
looking
snoring?
forward. Huh?
It's
Is
probably
somebody snoring?
Clarence. That's probably Clarence.
Yeah, I think it's probably Clarence. I'd say
Oh shit!
Clarence, you
We need
there?
to, we need to get that checked out. Damn, that's bad.
Yeah, it was Clarence. Go ahead, Chris.
No, all I'm saying is I'm scared for the future, but with the pay increase that teachers will be getting, I'm also um I'm looking forward to it to see if that makes a major change or not, because yeah, it's just a lot to deal with at this point when it comes to the children. If they're not being taught and they have to be taught at home and parents have to get money, and then you got so many things going up with inflation, I don't know anymore. It's a lot to deal with.
See, let me add this. My mother's actually a teacher herself. Crystal, you know this, but
Yep.
there's such a long. I've heard horror stories from her about certain things in that profession, and just the long list. And mind you, my mother teaches in DC, so
Hmm.
it's a lot, especially just having to deal with some of the kids themselves.
Your
Hmm.
mama,
Those are some interesting stories. Shit.
well, damn soldier. I think anybody teaching in DC, you a damn soldier.
I'm laughing, but I know it's
I treat
serious.
them like they treat veterans. Thank you for your service.
It is like where to start from the fact that they've been underpaid for so long, like like what was mentioned earlier, to just being in that environment, having to deal with certain individuals, either the kids, either the kids or the parents or whatever the fuck, and it's just a big ass mess. Not to mention, on top of being underpaid, certain supplies that they need, they got to come out of pocket for in order to be able to even do their jobs. So factor that into the pay discrepancy as well.
I don't know. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad they're getting an increase, but shit, I'm 4 days, so I'm just wondering if the kids is gonna get the education that. We kind of complain about the education in America. I still wonder if they're going to get the education that they kind of need. Because I know we're not really sold on the education that they're trying to. I know we're still trying to include critical race theory in the schools, and people having problem with that and shit. So, but I'm wondering if the kids is going to get the education that they need.
Rockefeller votes.
Right. Any last words before we move on to our next topic?
Nah.
Uh, okay. How y'all feel about Twitter finally putting a fucking edit button in is installing an edit button on their app?
Honestly, just put the shit in. Like,
Really?
just put it in. Okay, you're getting your edit button. Yay. All right, put it in.
I didn't even know they didn't
That's a
have one
No,
Yeah,
they
they don't
don't.
have one.
for a politically type of like app. Forget it. I
Nah,
don't even know why I'm
you start
asking.
off that way.
I don't know why.
Crazy.
I mean, when you tweet, you don't really write that much anyway. So if you fuck up, just delete it and just type all over. It
That's
what
really,
I
usually do.
and it took too long anyway. Like at this point, people are like, we're so used to this.
I hate
It's not like
deleting my
Facebook when people write fucking essays. So
They be writing essays and saying nothing at the same time.
Oh shit. Okay. Also, how do y'all feel about Serena Williams retiring?
Man, just watching her and Venus play earlier.
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
know.
mixing up the two.
how old is she?
She's 40.
Is that the one that she her last day
It's the
of
bigger one.
doing the last tennis thing, she cried because she hurt herself?
No,
Serena,
Serena
all I know
went
is
off against
Serena's
the Korean one. The Korean
Serena
one.
is the thicker one, and Venus is the more cut one.
Okay.
So, I guess I guess no one has anything to say about Serena retiring. Nope.
Good luck.
All right, I'll say this. I guess as someone that has been watching her with my grandmother because my grandmother loved tennis. I think it's well warranted. I think she done made women's tennis as popular as it will ever be. And even though there are other good women, play tennis like Naomi Osaka and I forgot the other name. I think it was like Stevens or some shit like that. No, I don't think anyone is ever going to put an imprint on in the women's tennis that the way Serena did. She won one of the damn opens pregnant. So imagine like losing to a pregnant woman, and that's like she's Serena Williams. Both the Williamses are remarkable athletes, but Serena will go down as probably one of the best athletes to ever see. And I wonder how the women's tennis is going to, do after she's gone, because there's going to be a big ass void that people are going to fill up. I have to say about that.
All right.
All right. Well, we done gone through all the topics, and I guess we can go ahead to our final thoughts. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Dion. Oh yeah, Dion.
Yo,
Who you got winning that Clash of the Castle, the main event?
Reigns and McIntyre. I'm hearing a bunch of stuff at Clash of the Castle. I didn't really want to speak on it, but I want to say I'm going to give that to Reigns.
You think Reigns is going to retain?
Yeah, it's other things I'm hearing that are supposed to happen, particularly in that particular match. That I was like, I was trying to avoid speaking on it.
Okay. What about NXT? Though when worlds collide, you think? Who do you think is going to win that one between Braun Breaker and Tyler Bate?
Breaker.
You got Braun Breaker winning that one. Okay.
I've watched NXT UK, so yeah, I know what Tyler Bate is capable of, but Breaker's just been on a fucking run.
Yeah, I seen him. I remember him during Mustache Mountain. It was like that dude was really remarkable and shit. What about Mandy Rose and what's her name, Mako Sakamura? What about that one?
That's a triple threat.
Oh yeah, that is a
And
triple
Blair
threat.
Davenport.
and Blair Davenport. I keep forgetting the third person, which is
I got
sad.
I got the Japanese girl.
Same. You're 3 for 3 right now, Dion.
I also have Mako Sakamura. I feel like Braun is going to get the unified, and they're going to give that to Mako. I don't think no one has played Davenport. I like that. I like the way they did that Go Home show where they like got all the past champions to talk about what those belts mean. So I thought that was kind of dope. But Dion, you got any final thoughts other than that?
Okay, first of all, as pertains to the Air Experience thing where he was talking about Lizzo, how about we stop with the name calling, the body shaming and shit, and start actually educating ourselves and each other on, nutrition and all of that shit. And second, I had an interesting, I guess, kind of experience on TikTok the other night. I was on somebody's live, and we was men and women were going back and forth not discussing their experiences with colorism. And the way he went about it was okay. Like it was four. He had four women on the panel. He would let them talk first. Say whatever they had to say, and then bring four guys on the panel. Obviously, I was one of the four. And when everything was over, one thing he pointed out was the difference in the differences in what the women were saying, more specifically how they were saying it as opposed to the men. And the whole point was pointing out, the differences in how men and women communicate. And one thing he said, when it was all over, maybe we're not quite ready to sit at the same table. And I've been trying to process that statement. I think what he meant by that is we're not at that level of, I guess, understanding yet to be able to like discuss certain things. So I'm wondering what will it take to get to that stage?
Is that it, Dion?
Yeah.
Okay. D Wolf is on you.
Shit. I'm just gonna comment on the last thing I saw. I was watching a show on YouTube and I didn't know it at the time, but they ended up playing Biden's speech tonight. So I was like, all right, I'll roll with it. And everything this man said was contradicting the truth, hard body, hell. And I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be an interesting next few months because these people are panicking. And the shit he said, I'm like, that's not true. That's not the case. And you're still going to go on and push this. It's crazy. And yeah, and at the same time, I think he should have hired Obama to speak for him because it didn't look good at all. It didn't look good at all. So, opposite of this. It's the most contradicting thing I've ever heard. Yep. Something's coming. It's going to be big. That's my final thoughts.
Okay. Crystal was on you.
All right. So I wanted to really quickly read the definition of what a counterfeit meant or means before I say what I say. So, counterfeit is made in exact imitation of something valuable or important with the intention to deceive or defraud. So, for the women that like to fuck boys, to try to see if they can use them to fill in any void or spaces in their heart, like in an emotional fix, stop it. Um, Basically, fuckboys like to dominate through sex, not love, sex, which is not a factor into being with someone and making sure that you are protecting your mental health. If you cannot find the right guy, do not go for the guy that just likes to fuck with benefits, or do not go for the guy that don't even know what your favorite color is. You're deceiving yourself. Grown men like to make love to the woman through her psyche. That's why we tend to love and not just say, okay, whatever. But men actually look at what turns you the fuck on and deals with that on your emotional level. He deals with all different parts so that you do not be in a situation of feeling that all you have to give is what you were born with, which is pussy. Okay? So stop fucking counterfeit dicks, because what tends to happen is that you are creating a counterfeit pussy. You're now trying to make believe that your pussy is valuable and important for the fuckboys. You're not really looking or having an intention to really love anyone because you're so in a situation where you keep getting with these counterfeit dicks and not finding any value in yourself. So you got to pretend it. Now you have to deceive. Now you have to defraud when a man comes into your life because you don't know what to do with what was valuable at the point. You gave it to everybody. So that's counterfeit pussy at that point. Now you're basically a fuck girl, but that doesn't exist. So that's why I'm making up these fucking words, because the shit needs to stop. So that's all I have to say.
I'm sorry, Chris. I was thinking like when
Damn.
you said counterfeit pussy and counterfeit dick, I'm sorry.
There's terminologies for the type of woman you're describing. Hoes,
Yeah.
thoughts, sluts, the list goes on.
Yeah, but you know they be changing it, Dion, to benefit their fuckery. I gotta be coming up with new words and shit.
These days they're called the 304 Society. You know,
Isn't
but
that Miami? Wait a minute.
okay.
Let me look it up.
Miami's 305.
305.
Type it.
Area code
I described this last week. Type in 304 on a calculator, flip it upside down. What word does it look like?
Ho.
That's fucked up, yo.
Yeah.
But it makes sense. I get it.
I'm just wondering, is like, how do you? It's like, what do you do when you run into counterfeit pussy? It's just like, do you hold it up to the sun like $100 bill or something like that?
I mean,
Damn.
It might melt with all these fake ass.
Bitch, do you know your pussy fake? This counterfeit pussy. I don't want.
I want to trade.
It said, take the pussy back. I want something else.
I mean, counterfeit pussy's been existing. They're called fleshlights.
No, that's a pocket pussy. I wouldn't call that counterfeit. That's just.
It ain't the real thing, shit.
Pocket pussy.
Bitch, your pussy feel like plastic. This ain't real.
No.
Ew.
I mean, if her walls is dry, it might feel like plastic. But you know,
if these walls can talk.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Let me stop. Father is on you.
So I want to talk about this whole soft girl era thing that I've been seeing. Like, bro, first of all, there has always been a segment of women that actually, that are soft. They're just naturally soft. That's just how they are. That's the environment that they were raised in. So they were taught to exude that type of energy. I feel like this whole soft girl era thing is kind of like a cosplay of that. You know what I'm saying? Because, for the longest time was about, city girls and running his money, running the check off of some dude, doing the whole finesse shit. And I'm like, if that's what you want to do, then you better be prepared for the smoke that comes with it. But if you think for 1 second that we are going to fall for this soft girl era stuff, like there's been a lot of people that already see through the bullshit. It's like, bruh, we have the Sharingan on. You're not gonna just come over here and just do that shit. And then just expect us to, you know, um accept the fact that you're in this like soft girl era. And it's something that like I'm not knocking, like I don't knock it, but at this particular point, the fact that you need to create a whole buzzword or a whole kind of like TikTok hashtag little buzzword movement in order to just be a feminine ass woman, like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
It's kind of, it's weird, but you know, I'm one thing I know is that nature always reveals itself. You know what I'm saying? You will
Mhm.
never be able to hide your true nature. So
Hmm.
so if this is really your soft girl era, then that better be the example that you're putting out, and it better be an example that somebody can, that some little girl gonna be looking up at you one day and probably be inspired by the example that you set out. So are you trying to help your community or are you trying to further destroy it? And that is dependent on the how you define your soft girl era. So if you want to do that shit, that's completely fine. A lot of the people that actually are serious about life, we're going to live our life and develop our creed a particular type of way. But do not take this opportunity to just revert back to the shit that you're doing, all because you want to change your you want to change your mentality, or you want to change your constitutions like seasons, in a year. You got fall, winter, summer, spring, and then you just alternate. So you got the soft girl era here, then you got your city girl era here. Maybe sprinkle in some sugar, spice everything nice like the motherfucking Powerpuff Girls. Like at this particular point in time, it's above me. I'm tired. I can't keep up. That's my final thoughts.
City boy, city boy.
Bruh.
uh, um, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about the 12-year-old, I think out of Louisiana, that brought a gun to a school bus, and I think she might have was trying to either protect herself or shoot at somebody. And the mother didn't make it any better, but I think it's just the way she was talking, and I see the response. But I've seen shit like this before, where like kids they've gone to adults or they've gone to like someone that for the bullying, and it seems like no one ever does shit for them, and then so they have to revert to the guns or like get a gun and some shit like that. Y'all gonna understand. I understand like black and especially in black schools. There's not a lot of school shootings. It's usually they cap at one person, not like the whole fucking school, but somebody's gonna get got. Um, Usually when the kids get to a point where like they've been bullied and no one's listened to them, where else do you think they're gonna go? I see this shit all the time. They're gonna either bring a knife to school, they're gonna bring something to protect them because it seems like you can. It's like even like the guidance counselors or some of the teachers, they're not doing nothing to protect these people, and yet they got to see these people every day. So what do you think they're going to do? I know there was a couple people that had they kept weapons on them. My sister, she used to keep a knife and a mace on her for people because people kept fucking with her and shit. And like my father actually had to go up there and talk to him and like curse everybody out. And once he realized they wasn't going to do nothing, he gave my sister a switchblade, and he was like, "If anybody fucking asks something, you know what to do." Now, like, that's one way to protect. That's one way to protect your child, but it shouldn't even go that way or even get that far. So I want some of these people out there, look, at least try to assess the situation to where no one has to die or like break a fucking gun up, because if it usually get that far, it's usually too late. So that's what I usually. Also, Kendrick Lamar dropped this "We Cry Together" video. I need to check that out. So that's one thing. But that's all I have to talk about. I'd like to thank the panel for jumping on the podcast. I would like to thank everybody for listening to hear us talk our shit again. This is You Know What, Let Me Just Say podcast, and we're signing out. Peace.
Cheers.
Well,